welcome to the Digital Digest, your weekly breakfast of insights, tips and tricks, and general information that will help anyone trying to move things forward in the digital world of accounting. This episode is brought to you by FYI Docs, the document management and now practice management system that's trying to, I'd say, change how accountants do business. It's also brought to you by Digital Disruptors, and we are now talking to Joe Wood from officially Hey Monica to find out about the product and its recent launch at Engager Labs. So look, over to you, Joe. Please, for everyone that's listening, what is Hey Monica?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. So, Hey Monica is a work experience simulation software using AI. So, the reason it come about, we run the community, the Six Figure Bookkeepers Club, and there's nearly 26,000 members in there. And the thing that comes up time and time again is the area of confidence. Once you've got your practice license, how do I actually do the work? How do I interact with the client? We all know that what you do at college, how you pass exams, is not what we do in real life, is not how we interact. So, we have brought together a team of founders who have experienced this themselves as practice owners and trying to train teams, especially virtual teams. We've got into this world where you're not in offices with people that you can sit next to and train them. And how do we train the youth of today when they may not be in the office? But also, as a sole practitioner, maybe we have a lot of parents in our community and work's not working for them. So they may have worked in industry all their lives and got themselves a practice license and said, I've never had a client of my own. Or they may have worked in practice all their lives and never had a client of their own. They've worked for a business. So how do we build this confidence? So Hey Monica came about with this in mind. Now, the North Star vision is that one day, imagine if with Hey Monica, people can get their work experience signed off to enable them to get their practice license. But at the moment, it is you've got your practice license or you're in a firm. You could be in a firm of accountants as well. And I don't know about you, but accountants didn't train to then train the next generation. So you get given a new apprentice and they're like, tell them what you do. And you're like, oh, I've got things to do. I've got a career to, scale. I don't want to be doing this. So how can we help teams, but also people in business to gain that confidence and have that real life interaction? So what happens is you get given, we're building the first 10 scenarios. So like
Okay.
sole trader bookkeeping, VAT return, payroll, whatever. Our beta testers are going to help us choose the first lot of scenarios that we build. You go in, you have a client who you've won. The discovery call's been done. You haven't got to do that. The discovery call's been done. You get given the scenario, you get given the background about the client. The client then comes to life as an AI client and you have a little video where they talk you through what was discussed in the discovery call. And then you get given like a little fact sheet about the business, the things you've picked up in that call. And then you have to start talking to the client to get the information that you need. And if you don't ask for the right information, the information is not dropped into the document vault. So then when you get to the end and create the VAT return, the trial balance, whatever it is, and Monica shares with you what it should look like, and you've missed some items, you will learn the things you didn't ask for. If you didn't ask for mileage, if you didn't ask for use of home information, whatever it is, if you've missed out on those bits, we're going to say, hey, you could have done this as well, and you could have done that, and you can try again.
Brilliant. I mean, that sounds very, very exciting. So there's lots to unpack there. I think firstly, the why and why is it relevant is very interesting because, as you say, the workplace has changed and everyone is now more flexible. There's a lot more remote work. And the key thing that I find in those more traditional practices, as well as those ones, I guess, setting out, are that there's this concern that you're not absorbing those soft skills, as you say, from those around you, where you would be if you're kind of in a community, in an office. So I guess as well as for those that are starting out, this is a really powerful tool for those that are trying to change how they operate, the bigger firms. Do you see it from both aspects?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we even have been speaking to someone that runs a franchise operation, and they're like, this would be amazing for them because they are part of a bigger organization, but they are wanting that flexibility, freedom, and to be their own boss, but they still need this kind of support. So, absolutely. We are going to be building it with both in mind, with those business owners, but also with those practices that feel, because we've experienced both and our founding team have experienced both. I took on my son as an apprentice in COVID. He was doing A levels at school, but he wasn't getting the support he needed. And we were growing fast. And I was like, I need an apprentice. Oh, hold on. I gave birth to one 18 years ago. And he's doing nothing in his bedroom. So I got him involved, and he became an AAT apprentice. But I realized in that moment, I couldn't have done that if he was out of the house.
Yeah.
Also, those soft skills, I had to say to him, you do know you have to open your emails every day. It's not something you
Yeah.
just pick in. Like those kind of skills, they are not taught in school. So I think I got a real eye-opening moment at that point of how much this is needed. But then obviously talking with my community, I've got people that are chartered accountants that haven't been able to document the work experience. So they've got a bookkeeper's license. I think people do not realize how many parents and people that are caring for other people have got health issues themselves, how are very highly qualified. They're in our community because they've chosen to get a practice license with somebody that they didn't train with because they couldn't because of work experience. So we are seeing this day to day, and we're like, how do we change this?
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the forward planning, Joe, of having a son to be, having a future apprentice. I think it's great. But what I want to dive a bit more into the product. Before I do that, what was really exciting is you've got some titans of the accounting world here together. So, firstly, how did this whole concept come about? Who was the spark that thought, I want to do this, and then started to bring people together? Or was it you're all out drinking or socializing one night and you all just went, oh, this is a great idea?
You know me so well, Ryan. No, so what happened was Zoe and I obviously were talking about this gap, and we feel like we're here to serve, and we're like, this keeps coming up and up and up. But what do we do about it? And are we so Zoe and I always say that what we do in the Six Figure Bookkeeper and the Bookkeepers Collective is business skills. It's nothing technical, because we do not feel that we are, we don't run practices anymore. Zoe's ACCA, I'm ICB and AAT. I have, I can piece things together, but I'm not up to date all the time. And our passion is business. So we teach the business skills you need to run a practice. And we know that with community, you get the technical skills as well. So firstly, we were sitting, who would we use? Rebecca Williams came to mind, as she
Yep.
has her Miss Finance tutorials on YouTube. She is a passionate leader for students. She's constantly teaching the technical. She was already an ambassador in our community, teaching AML and bringing that real, we have a technical Q&A because we offer it, but me and Zoe aren't in there. We have our amazing ambassadors in there. So she was like, oh, we'd love to speak to Rebecca and see, because we knew she would be passionate about this, and we'd had the conversations about this. But what happened was Nicola and Nadia came to Zoe and I with another idea that they wanted to grow together.
Okay.
And me and Zoe looked at each other. So they booked a meeting with us and they said, we've got this idea and we want to do this and we want to do that. And me and Zoe looked at each other and went, we've got an idea too. And the fact that you've come with this much, and it was about helping people. It was different. It wasn't building software.
Yeah, but similar.
But it was similar. And we went, we've got an idea. What do you think of this? And they were like, oh, yeah. So we're like, we're not poo-pooing your idea, but do you want to give this a go with us? And then we were at the Xero Awards having a drink, and Stuart Hurst came bouncing over to me. And I said, and we were having a meeting the next day, our first founders meeting. I didn't ask any of the other founders. I just said, Stuart, do you want to come and meet a bunch of women in a room tomorrow and have a chat about business? And he said,
how could he refuse?
Exactly. He said, I'm free. So they didn't even know he was coming to the meeting. Some of them didn't know who he was. And the six of us sat there in Manchester and came up with the idea. Now, was it fast paced after that? No, because everyone's very busy. No one had any roles. We didn't have any money. There was no momentum at that point in time. That really came about. So luckily, I have a brother. I'm the eldest of five. We're all entrepreneurs, and my brother was just launching his book called Minimal Viable Launch: How Tech Founders Should Launch with no funding, no money, and just passion, and like bootstrap it, like, and how
Yep.
you do it. So I was like, I've got someone that might be able to help us here. So we booked a workshop, and we just paid for a workshop with him to just workshop the idea out with someone that knew tech. Have we got something here? And that's what we did. And then we had to get some investment to go and start doing some tech development. And we had to start a limited company. We had to decide who was shareholders, what was going on. We had to do all of that. And then, but really, it's taken a while to get us in the flow of how do we develop tech when there's so many people, so many ideas, whose
Yeah.
decisions mean that they can make a decision on the spot, what kind of decisions mean you can go forward because you can undo it. Trying to create autonomy between us has been, yeah, it's been a learning curve. But knowing that we had Engager and getting that opportunity from Johan to say, because he knew about it, he works with my brother too, and he was
Okay.
like, "You've got this idea." So yeah, Emma James is in the my brother's community. So is Johan. I gave Johan is my brother's accountant, but also I said, "Have you read his book?" And he read it. He was like, "Oh my goodness, this is everything we've been going through with Engager." So he was kind of pushing us. He's like, Engager Labs is coming. I want to see it there. That gave us the
Oh,
driver to
nice.
go, let's go.
So, there's a lot that you've had to do and you've been doing over time. So, apologies if you already said this, but when was that? When did you meet in Manchester originally to have that chat and
It was
decide
the
you were doing it?
Zero Awards. So I think it was May 24.
Okay, so about 9 months it's taken from concept to
Yeah. But I
minimal
think
viable
6 months of actual
doing
meeting
things.
every week, doing the work. Yeah.
Meeting every week you've been, so it's pretty intense. You've been going through and doing this. And
Yeah.
have you now got defined roles inside the
We
business, or is it
have
still flexible?
no, we have an integrator. Rebecca Williams is the integrator. She is the main woman. She is driving and helping, like she's doing that. I will be taking over the community. That will be my job. I'm actually in charge of like the finance side of things as well, which I'm like, you're all accountants, but hey, I'm the bookkeeper. Leave it to me. So I'm kind of dealing with the finance side of things. I set up the direct debits for people to sign up with, that kind of thing. Um, Zoe has been really good at going through as and using the tool and writing like this doesn't look right, this doesn't look right. We
Tester
had
and validator, basically. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Nadia, because she is our I think she's like our secret sauce because Nadia was a chiropodist 2 3 years ago, trained as a
Okay.
bookkeeper, has built her firm using everything that we in the Bookkeepers Collective. She is like just been going through this. She was the one that I kept thinking, like, how do we give her confidence? How do we give her confidence? Changing career. She earns so much more money now than she ever did dealing
That's
with
good.
feet. She's gone from feet to finance. So she is our great person to go. I don't understand what you're talking about here. Like, stop talking. Like, you've all been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
Speak English, which is what we need. Nicola's got two firms. So Nicola's got virtual accounts and taxes and the payroll team. So Nicola's amazing with payroll, and we want to be. And she's also built teams very quickly. And Stuart has. Stuart's gone in 10 months to £500,000 turnover, built a team. Like he. So we've all got
And that's a scale.
and how to scale absolutely. And Zoe's the marketing as well. Like Zoe is like, where's our like on the day when we're launching, she's like, I've just built an Instagram channel, I've just built like
Yeah.
we are bootstrapping and it's all new. And actually someone said to me, I love seeing you all like out of your comfort zone, doing something new. This is not our zone of genius, but we have the passion and we understand the industry and the problem. I think that's and we're okay to go, I don't know everything about tech, but we
Yeah.
have the passion and we have a team behind us.
Yeah, look, it sounds like things have kind of naturally fallen into place based on your skills, and you're still going to evolve over time, but it sounds like you've got quite a powerhouse there. So, talk a little bit more about the technology itself. You've said, there's an AI,
Yes.
basically individual that you
Yes.
interact with. So, how does that work? Is that Is that voice? Is that video? Like, how does that? What is the AI?
So the AI comes in client and Monica. And just so that everyone knows, because everyone was asking, where did Monica come from? Why Monica? So we were talking like you do, like on The Apprentice, what are we going to call ourselves? What are we going to call ourselves? And we said we want her to be friendly. Like we really
Yeah.
want it to feel like a hug and for her to be your friend, your mentor. And then we started sharing friend gifts with each other in the WhatsApp group. And we were like, well, which friend would you want to teach you bookkeeping? So there's Monica, because we thought Joey and Phoebe were not the right people.
We did go down the Friends route. I did wonder if it was a
We
Friends
did.
related thing.
We did. But we just changed it with a K, Monica with a K rather than, but yeah, yeah, so that's where she came from. And we wanted to say, hey, Monica, like help. That's what you'd
Yeah.
be, you know. So she is a little lilac image. And she's in the corner, like chat with Monica, talk to Monica. Monica's here all the time. And you type and she responds.
Got it. It's a written interaction at the
It's
moment.
a written interaction. One day, I'm sure we will be able to let you speak and she will speak back. We will, as we know, things will move, things will change. But at the moment, you type and she responds. And we have trained her. So, yes, we are using OpenAI, but we are training Monica. So the beauty of having a community of 26,000 people is that we run competitions where we ask questions of the day and people answer. And we've been running competitions. And the first competition was to win a strategy day with Stuart Hurst on Monday this week ahead of Engager Labs. And what we're doing with those questions is we then rate them, the answers. So we are teaching Monica what is an excellent answer, what's a good answer, what's okay, and what is bad. And
Yeah.
so that's how we are training the AI. We are using our community. Someone actually said, are you using us to make this software? And I'm like, yes. Just like LinkedIn does when they say you can be a top voice, you've been picked out to be a top voice. We are training LinkedIn
Yeah.
to give us that. They are using us. This is so we took that inspiration as well. How do we use the community we've already got to help us build Monica?
Cool. And you said there's 10 scenarios at the moment. What's the?
Yeah. So on the 24th of March, so in a
Yep.
month's time, what we would say in Engager Labs, if you take a bet on us, if you sign up to Monica, so hey Monica, if you sign up in a month's time, you will pay £40 and you'll have access to 10 scenarios on that day. So we have proof, we've got the proof that we have these people ready to pay so we can generate, because we are bootstrapping this. We are doing dev sprints and we are going to be building 10 scenarios at a time, but they will be in a community where they can say, these are the scenarios that we want. This is what we need. And that's that's my job, to manage that community and help get what they want into this. But we know the power of community. That is the thing that me and Zoe have done. And this is why this is, and obviously with Engager, I've seen what, Johan's done with community and building software. So I've taken inspiration from that.
Yeah, it can be incredibly powerful. And I think, Johan's a good proof of that. If you engage the community effectively, it can kind of build your product naturally from that, because they just want to tell everyone else about how great their experience is with it. So essentially at the moment, you've got a plan for 10 scenarios, but you haven't defined what they are because you're going to let the community define what they are.
We have them. We have what we think. We've actually written them
Got
all
it.
out on the page, but we are happy to be told this is needed quicker. So we're happy to be, to move around and
To be led.
And also be led what types of clients, because each scenario as well, you can have a VAT return for like unlimited amount of types of clients.
Yeah. So obviously you're going to try and make this broad. You're going to try and make this very open for people. But I know the challenge of when you start, there's so many directions you can go in. So it's such a broad. You're doing soft skills here. It's such a broad plethora of I don't know, skills that you're developing. So have you got a specific focus, a kind of target person that this initial build's for?
So I think initially it is for our audience, the people that have just got their practice license and are on maternity leave, been made redundant, have stepped away or want to reduce their hours at work. But, but that's the conversation we have all the time. I'm working full time. I want to start my own practice. I want to do it slowly. Like there were so many, that is the ideal client at the moment. Because that's us.
It's what
We've
you
all been
understand.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But I know Stuart is very excited, and we've had these, with firms. We have had 3 firms sign up already as well with teams, and they want to use it for their teams. So we will be keeping that in mind. There will be, both. We'll be thinking about both. I think they both serve the same, because the job is ultimately the same. But I suppose that comes more from a point of marketing of who we're talking to, and our audience is the audience of new practice owners or people that are building small teams and are taking on their first virtual subcontractor and want to make sure that they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So look, you've touched on it already. It sounds like it was an incredible launch at Engager. So talk a bit about how that entire experience was, because I guess you were nervous because it's brand new, and you've gone and set up your stand. You've got your branding. You're all wearing pink. Is that right?
It's like a lilac-y, it's a purpley pink. Yeah.
Purpley pink. Brilliant.
Not
And
so much
then
my normal pink.
it's slight different shade.
Mhm.
And then you getting people coming in and they're starting to come up to you. So how did that all feel? What happened?
So the day before, we had the strategy day with 20 people in a room, and we thought we'd do our first demo in front of everyone here because these are all our clients already, our audience. And we realized we didn't know how to demo it. Like we hadn't practiced that. So after that strategy day, we sat down together and Zoe was great. Zoe was like, this is how we demo this. And then all 6 of us went up one at a time to the front of the room and we demoed it live in front of each other.
Brilliant.
This is real behind the scenes. Like this is how we did it. And we're like, yes, we know how to demo it. And then the next day we got there and the stand looked like it would fit 2 laptops and there's 6 of us. And we thought, do you know what?
Yeah.
2 at a time, we'll do 45 minutes each and go. No, we were mobbed. We were like holding our laptops and we squeezed 4 laptops on at one point to do demos and some people were standing over the side. So we didn't really get that downtime, we thought. But I was listening to everybody else and we were all saying the same thing and all coming up with the same results. So yeah, I think we were told there were 217 attendees at Engager Labs. I'm sure, or 230, something like that. And we on day 1 had 44 signups, and 3 of those were companies. So we said if we got 10, we felt like we'd proved the concept.
Yeah, more than tripled it.
We did say, or Stuart said, if he got to 50, he was going to strip naked and run around the exhibition hall, but we didn't get there. So
thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Thank you. Those people that went to Engager, thank you for not signing up and making it go to 50. Now, obviously, make contact because I think that deal's passed.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I think that's what slowed down signups at the end. People did not want to be responsible for that.
But that's quite a good bet, and it's something that to some extent encourages you to try and do more. Not for what happens, right? But it's that target, it's that thing that drives you forward. And it sounds like it was great. But I think like before we jumped on, you said that even since then, people have still been reaching out and signing up.
Yeah, and that's because so I think on the actual day it was 33, but overnight it went to 44, and that's because we've all got audiences, and so we were sharing, and I didn't realize the impact of having the team of 6 of people with a personal brand, and all of us sharing the excitement on the day, and they were all like, it was like The Apprentice. It felt like we were like, at the market stalls, like they are trying to sell their wares. Imagine we got to go to the boardroom later. Actually, our boardroom is later on today. We are going to have a debrief this afternoon. No one's getting sacked. But we we will have a chat later and go, wow, because the conversations everyone's having and the ideas that people came to us and said, could it do this? Could it do that? And we're like, not at the moment, but it could. And this sounds great. So we
Yeah.
need to come together and make sure that they're all, you know, there for future.
Yeah, and you've been running a community for so long. You've got the experience of it, and everyone's got a view. Everyone's got their own personal take on where something should go, and trying to, I guess, absorb all of that, which is all incredible information, and still plot a path is a challenge. So
Yeah.
I don't envy you in that situation, but it's exciting times. So I believe Nadia said there was about 317 people at Engage Labs. So
Oh,
um,
317. Yeah. Mhm.
well, she's put 317 in the chat. I've assumed that's the number of Engage
That
Labs she's
should have
put.
been yeah, that sounds right. I think I said 217, which was wrong. 370. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
317.
absolutely. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. I know we've talked a lot about Hey Monica, but what I'd like to. I had massive FOMO not being at Engage Lab. So what was it like? You had a keynote, didn't you?
I did have a keynote and oh my goodness, that stage was massive.
It
Everyone,
looked it.
what was funny, I wish they had had a camera for everyone walking in and just all the expletives that people said when they saw the stage. It was so impressive. It was really cool. And the branding, their lighting, the tech they used on the day. So they had a camera constantly in the exhibition hall showing what was going on the main stage. There was timers going on down to the next talk. There was a band right next to our stand, which meant we had to all quite talk a bit louder.
Yeah.
So they had live music going on through the day. There was sunlight, and I know people might not appreciate this, but there was a really lovely light all day. Now, when you're in a conference, sometimes you come outside at the end of the day and think, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
where have I been all day?" You know,
In a
you feel
cave.
like you've been in a shopping centre or something. There was natural light. I think there was 18 stands, so it wasn't overwhelming. It was very much about the main stage. There was two separate theatres as well. Xenon Connect and Buddy HR had a whole host of. So if you wanted to step away from the main stage and go and watch like a fireside chat, you could do that. There was food available, toilets available, fresh outside, right by the River Mersey as well. So you could go and get some good fresh air. The sun was shining. Honestly, I loved it. I thought it was a great event. And do you know what? When you go to something for the first time, you have no idea. So, I know it was a free event, but it's never free when you have to travel somewhere, take a day off of
Yeah.
work, get a hotel. So the fact that 317 people said, I'm
Well,
going to do that, that speaks volumes. The fact that all of the vendors um, put their money where their mouth was and showed up was the Engager team did a fantastic job. There is nothing, we did say it was a bit cold in there, but actually someone said it later
up
on in the
north.
day. But later on, actually, you didn't feel that dry, horrible feeling that sometimes you feel after, when there's too many
Yeah.
bodies and you feel, ugh.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that actually, and so maybe it was actually a good thing feeling a little bit cold in the day. I didn't feel cold once I stood on that stage with all those
It's
lights.
adrenaline, Joe. That's
Ooh,
the buzz of what you're doing.
yeah,
That's
I
probably
was.
what was going on at the end as well, right? You had so much energy still from how well it had gone.
Yeah, absolutely. No, fabulous event, and I think next year, I don't know if they're planning to run again, but I think it's going to be a very, very popular event.
Yeah, I think the main feedback I've heard from the event is that it felt like it wasn't the first time. It was that slick and that
Mm,
professionally done that it felt like it had already been around. And it would be a shame and a surprise if it doesn't run again. They
100%.
need to pick the cycle of how they do it, whether it's annual, whether it's every 2 years like ZeroCon is now. Um, yeah, they've got to pick that, but I'd be surprised if it doesn't come back. I assume that Johan has been completely overrun with positive accolades for it. So like we could talk endlessly about Hey Monica. I appreciate this is the start of the journey. There's so much to develop, so much to take forward. But if people are watching, if people are listening and they want to learn more, how is the best way to get in touch?
So if you go to heymonica.com, so HEYMONIKA.com, you can sign up there to get more information. You'll be on our mailing list so we can release things to you. You can't actually access the software just yet. So, but
No,
we can show
March,
you a
March.
demos. March, yes. So, but we can share demos with you. And yeah, we're learning all this. We haven't even got an option to do demos or anything yet. We have got some videos, but we will be sharing. And so get on the email list, and then we will be contacting you that way. And then and yeah, and we can talk to you there. We've got to learn all this, and I think people enjoy coming on the journey with any new business. And that's exactly how I built Six Figure Bookkeeper. I was building Joe Wood Virtual FD. I said, I'm going to build a six-figure bookkeeping practice from my kitchen table. Come and join me. I will share warts and all. And so I've learned from that people enjoy that, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what we're doing here.
No, they feel part of it. And look, from the comments that are going in the live feed at the moment, people seem to echo the need for it. We've got Cash Vincent, for example, that's saying, yeah, there's definitely a need out there. But as I said, we could talk about this for hours. I feel this is a great place to wrap up like this week's show. Hopefully anyone that is watching this either live or in afterwards has learned, I guess, a lot about what Hey Monica is, especially if you weren't at the launch at Engager Labs. Thanks again to our wonderful sponsor for the show, FYI Docs. And we will try and reference and put in a link when we share this properly with the link directly to the website. So you can not play with the product yet, but see the demos and sign up so you get early access in March. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn so you make sure you catch all future episodes. For us, thank you. That's it.
Thanks, Ryan, for having me.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
Nice one. Lots of positive